Hey y'all. Hey y'all. What's up? What's up? What's up? It's been a long while since I've done a video. And I got my curly out today, as you could see. Did a little wash and wear. Can I get a better camera? Just using my computer. Guys, I'm just using my computer to just talk and just say a couple things. But I'm here, and this hair is by a black beauty, grown from a black beauty. Naturally. Nah, this is for Lent. No weed, no weave. And what else did I do? Something else. Like I did 3 things that I'm doing for Lent. Not smoking, no weave, still doing a little makeup. But I always do light makeup, so I don't feel like look. I came here today not to talk about hair, because hair has always been and somehow remains to be one of the top conversations amongst Black people. And there are so many more conversations to be had. So here's one conversation we need to have, okay? Let me push this computer back. I know I moved it up, but I need it back where it is. Here's one conversation that needs to be had. Pop Smoke playing outside. Let me see some. Okay. Nah, but literally, let me start. What I've noticed is that Black women, we have, God, unstable connection too. Literally, it's gonna be hard to do this video. Connection's unstable tonight. Look. You know, I'm laughing because I had a conversation with a lady across the street about it after I left my boy's house. And what I will say is this. The lady across the street, the same lady that sometimes I grimace at her and she grimaces at me, and we be talking shit to each other sometimes and doing shady things to each other. But I had to stop and really talk to her, because as a Black woman who's a little bit older, because I'm in my mid 30s and early mid 30s, and she is in her late 40s. And the conversation that we had was pretty much, these men will dog you if you allow it, and have you thinking that it's okay and respectable. Now, here's what I'm going to stop doing for the rest of my 30s, for the rest of my life. I will not surround myself anymore with boys, with men who believe they're men, but really they behave and think like boys. And it's so sad, because they will have you sit there and think that you are wrong. Like, no, you're crazy, bitch. No, you don't know what you're talking about. No, shit doesn't work like that. Sometimes people are not in a space where they can truly understand certain levels of life, because maybe they never lived it before, or maybe they were unsuccessful at it. Like, yeah, you could have been married, but you didn't have any children and the marriage ended, so it was unsuccessful. And marriage is for life. So after you didn't have kids with her and she couldn't have kids, maybe it was time for you to adopt to try to keep your marriage alive. But of course not, because marriage is not a top priority for you. So what I will say is that I think in 2020, a lot of people think that they can make new rules, and they're going to take these new rules from 2019 and 2018 and drag them into the new decade. That's not fucking happening. There are no new rules. In 2020, what we need to regress back to some traditional rules. Okay? Know your role. And the reason why I'm saying it like this, and it's so crazy, because a lot of people that know me would say that I'm a woman who doesn't know my role. But somehow I was in a very successful relationship with my fiance when he passed away for about 3.5, 4 years. And I knew my role. And that's because he was firm in his role and he knew his role. What's happening in our community is we have a lot of people who are stepping outside of their roles. Like, your role is to be a provider, and my role is to be provided for and to raise your children and to maintain the household and maybe even maintain the side business while you're at work. So if we're renting apartments out, maybe I'm going to be managing the apartment rental or whatever while you're at work, or managing the checkbook or managing whatever payments need to go out or whatever. I think people forget that marriage is about teams. So when I say in the title, people in this world are sick and people in this world are lost. And that doesn't mean that I'm not a little sick. That doesn't mean that I'm not a little lost. But I think that my principles are so rooted in my foundation that it's very hard to shake my principles. So in that way, I'm on a straight and narrow, and I may stray, but I never lose sight of the most important values in life. And marriage is important. And more importantly than marriage, family units are important, and have family unit is important. Now, how did I get to this? How did I even get to discuss this tonight? What I will say is this. Men in 2020, they have a lot, it seems like, and from the conversation I had with some gentlemen today, it seems like men in 2020 have a lot of requirements for women, whereas we only seem to have one or two requirements for them, which is like, do you have a car and do you have some money? But to be honest with you, men, from that conversation today, I realized that men will have you sitting here believing that you're not beautiful, will have you sitting here believing that you're not gorgeous. Look at me. I sat here and told some of my homeboys that what I know is there are a lot of men out there who are frustrated with the fact that so many of us Black women have that high confidence, because I literally just sat with a grown ass homeboy, almost old enough to be my father, who behaves like he's younger than me, but somehow he thinks he has all the answers because he's been married before, but it was unsuccessful. And I'm not even challenging the way that he really thinks. What I'm challenging is the way that you deliver your message. You think that it is okay to say things like you won't date women if they don't have a father or if they were single children. Well, a lot of women would say they don't date men who have homeboys hanging over at their house every day, or they don't date men who don't have cars, or they don't date men who have one property and barely any savings. Like, there are a lot of things that could be said, and it sounds offensive when you say certain things out loud. And it's not about being pussy. It's not about a world that's pussy. Because then he said, I'm one of the people, he said, because I'm one of the people who prefers to just keep certain things silent, that I'm what's wrong with the world. And because I know my power, I can state that thing out loud and influence a whole room and change the energy of a whole room. And because I know I have that kind of power in me, I choose not to say certain things out loud. Now, when I come here and I vent with you, I'm amongst these types of men. I try my best not to spiritually and financially, because if I sat with over 50% of my homeboys and said, well, I don't want a man who has mommy problems, that would make almost all my friends feel bad. Well, I don't want a man who isn't a millionaire, that would make almost all my friends feel bad. Well, I don't want a man who's fat, that would make a few of my guy friends feel bad. When I'm around my guy friends, I keep things open. I say things like, I date everybody, I fucks with everybody, because people get offended when you try to devalue facets of their lives that are tied to their ego. Not to say that I don't like women who haven't had a father figure, and it doesn't count that you had men in your household because it's not a father figure. It doesn't count. It's not the same. And if your father was down the block, it's not the same. Well, you've just disrespected almost 90% of the young Black women out here who are trying to be taken seriously. And what I'm saying, Black women, is that these men do that as a strategy. The same way that I keep my mouth quiet about my preferences amongst young gorillas that I'm not interested in is the same way that when they say certain things out loud, like, oh, black men think that they're more beautiful than they actually are, or they think their confidence is way more than what is actual reality. No, that's your perception because your lack of confidence because of how you look. But the reality is there are a lot of black women out here who feel they are dimes, and they are dimes. I'm a fucking dime when I want to be. I give myself 8 and 9 because room to grow. But quite frankly, I have no stomach, beautiful ass, beautiful titties. I'm intelligent. And when I go to my real estate office, I get reminded that all those things are true by non-black men every day and by other black men at the real estate office who have sense, because they have confidence about themselves. So to tear another woman down is not in their character. What I've realized, women, is that if you don't really guard your energy against certain types of men, they will finesse you into believing that you're just an average chick. You know why they do that? Because they want you to have a threesome. They want you to do something nasty for them, or they want you to exploit yourself in a way that benefits them. And the only way they can do it is to kneel down 3 and 4 in boy's house. I know you feel so elated that I'm leaving this man's house right now, but the reality is, just last week he was trying to fuck me, talking about it was great sex and it was amazing, but you're supposedly his girlfriend. And somehow you've allowed yourself to believe that that's okay because you guys entertain threesomes. Except this is a man that I've had sex with 3 years ago, which means I came way before you. You should actually feel a little bit more threatened than you do. And the sad fact is you don't feel threatened because you've got this man manipulating your mind, making you your threesome candidate. And I don't even do threesomes. I don't even like women. The reality is, like, this man is I don't know what happened in his past life, but one of the reasons why I only had sex with him that one time was because, oh my God, he wants to have sex all the time. Like, so that one day we had so much sex, I felt like, what are we doing? What the fuck's going on here? It's like, I don't have all day to sit there and have sex with you. You're not busy enough if you want to fuck all day. Now, that's not to say I can't have sex in the morning with my man and in the night with my man and in the afternoon if we happen to be home. But I don't call out of work to fuck. Last time I called out of work to fuck, I lost my job. Seriously, dead ass. This happened 3-4 years ago. Lost my fucking job. All because of someone trying to manipulate my energy and making me believe that that was appropriate. But it's not actually, when it came down to that situation, it was no manipulation. I just literally didn't like the job that much. And so me and my artist, he's a grown-ass man and he wants to hang and we was writing. He's a grown-ass man. I'm not going to tell a 30-year-old man that I guess he must have been 28 at the time. But I'm not going to tell a 30-year-old talented man that I actually fucking like that I don't want to have sex with him, because I actually do. So I stayed back and I enjoyed my life and I enjoyed his time for the week, and I lost my job. And that's when I realized that sex can be a vice as well. And just like weed and just like alcohol, because I don't even drink like that anymore, sex can be a vice as well. Sometimes people feel, and I think this is something that my friend is, let's just call him Andrew. That's not his real name, but let's call him Andrew. My friend Andrew, I think my friend Andrew believes that my friend Andrew used to entertain. First of all, the fact that he continues to entertain me as a friend, the fact that he continues to even hang and be around me shows me that his interests are still, even when he told me a couple of weeks ago, because we had a good time and all that, what I said to him? I said, well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I meant it, because thank you for complimenting my sexual prowess, and thank you for complimenting my sexual skills. But I only need to have sex with you once or twice for you to do that. I don't actually have to have sex with you every time you request. I think a lot of Black women, they get into a little bit of a habit with men that haven't invested in them. Homegirl, you come over to a man's condo and he has not even moved you in, and you give him threesomes and sex and things like that, and he doesn't care about you, because when you leave, I sit right there with him and the boys and they talk shit. They say good things about your personality, but at the end of the day, there's just one little thing holding them back from taking appropriate, unless we're lesbians, which is fine if you're a lesbian, but I'm not. I don't subscribe to that. So my thing is like, I don't want to have a threesome just because you think that that would elevate your sexual life. That does nothing for me. And that's the reason why you'll always be chasing after my pussy and being unfulfilled with the pussy you get. Or before you. Me before you. And it is what it is. See, when you're an only child, I'm going to explain something to you. When you grow up as an only child, that's not really an excuse to treat people bad. And I never use only child as an excuse to treat people bad. I use only child as an excuse to treat myself good before you. So before I go and bend over backwards for you, shouldn't I be concerned about myself? I mean, that's just called preservation, and that's just called survival. There are a lot of men out here who and these lights. There are a lot of men out here who they don't look at you and think, how could I help her get by the day? They don't look at you and think, well, it's dinner time. Did she eat anything? You know, I come to your house. I haven't eaten dinner. And I never ask for food. But don't you think that once in a while you should offer me some food? Or do I have to give you a threesome for it? Where's your hospitality? And I'll be like, got you, nigga. See you later. It doesn't matter to me because I'm not interested in you. So what I find is that men, they believe things that are completely opposite. Certain men, I can't categorize all, but the types of men who, you know, those types, the boys, they don't ever put women in a high category because to them, women is just, we're just there to fill the space when they get horny so they could have somebody to fuck. They don't care about us. All they care about is just the men in their lives, building relationship with the men in their lives and exploiting our bodies. So Black women, be honest. Be honest. Be honest. Like a dog, like somebody's, I don't know, you'll just keep getting treated badly. If you're not honest, you'll keep getting treated badly. A man will sit there and try to convince Gabrielle Union that she's not a fucking 10. A man will sit there and try to convince Beyonce she's not a 10. A man will sit there and try to convince Rihanna that she's not a 10. A man will sit there and try to convince you as to why you're not a 10 because you're not those women, but those women are 10. So what are you trying to say, nigga? I'm a 5? Are you out of your fucking mind, nigga? What it sounds like is you're trying to bring my energy down so that I would want to prove myself to you and want to have your threesomes and execute your little sexual trysts and shit. Except I don't give a fuck about you. That's the beauty of being an only child. Knowing how to stand on your own too. You can't care about a man who is only about self-indulging. When men want to self-indulge too much, I kind of give them a side eye. I actually really wholly respect a couple of my homeboys who immerse themselves in their work. Because I don't know a world where me is number 1, you're not busy enough. Number 2, your ambitions are low. And number 3, fuck number 3. I don't care. I gave you 2 thoughts. As lazy as you are is as lazy as I am in categorizing your behavior. So how I feel is like, yo, there's a lot of men out here. You got to catch yourself, Black women, because these men will have us thinking, oh my God, she's a square because she doesn't want to have a threesome. No, I'm a straight woman. You know what would be a great threesome? 2 men touching me. Like, let me tell you, if you're not careful, you will have men trying to make you feel as though you're something that you're not and behaving in a different way than what you would normally behave. Let me tell you something. Half the reason why all these bitches are out here with purple and pink hair is because somewhere, somehow, some man told him that was fly. And then the celebrity started emulating the street bitch, and then the celebrity started elevating red hair and started elevating all the crazy colors and shit like that. Because unless you're like an alternative artist or like for real, that's your bag, where I could look at you and tell like, yo, that's your bag. That's her thing. You're not making. You know what's more fun? What's more fun is the look on his face and the feeling in your heart when he accepts you wholeheartedly for who you are, without you having to do your threesomes, without you even having to have sex. Some of these people are so dependent upon sex that they would not have a relationship without it. If you took sex out of your relationship, would there be one? And if the answer is no, then you're not in a relationship. You're being used. Now we could go back and forth and talk about, well, maybe she's using him and he's using her, but when are we going to drop the act? Ladies, we are the vessels. Okay? We are the socket. They are the plug. Okay? Meaning, you know what makes me feel so good at the end of all, it's when I do these videos, I have to put my thoughts together better, because I think very tangentially, and a lot of the shit that I say, it sounds like it's scattered, but it all comes together because it's a grand scheme. It's a lit scheme, as Japan would say. It's a lit scheme. I find that they tend to do the best. The men who want to play, like, I'm in my 30s, early 30s. This man is in his late 40s. He might even be damn near 50 yet. And you're worried about women in their 30s and how they behave. Well, guess what? If you really wanted a sex pot who wasn't concerned about having a baby and a family, then why not get a 22-year-old girl? Or is that too young? Oh, but you can't pull her. That's what it is. You're not good looking enough. You're not good looking enough to pull. You are not no Leo DiCaprio, and you are not no, what's his name? Idris. Oh, God, his girl is a 10. You are not no Idris, so you can't pull. Because this man is black, so I had to compare him to Idris. You are not no Idris, so you can't pull. Let's be real. You can't even pull a 10. When I'm looking my sexiest, I wouldn't dare catch myself in that man's house. There are days that I put myself together in a way where you're like, what is the scale, 1 to 10, or is it 1 to 15, 1 to 20? And it's called Black Girl Magic when I want to, but at other times I'm going to confront you with everything I am. Sometimes I'm not going to have a weave on. Sometimes I'm not going to have my makeup done. Sometimes I'm not going to want to suck your dick. Sometimes I'm not going to want to eat your best friend's pussy or whatever the fuck it is. Even, I'm speaking from a woman, if I was a lesbian even, if I was bisexual even, I wouldn't want to be exploited just because a man wants a threesome. And the girl's only been around for a couple weeks, so let's see what happens. They don't last long around his way. I wonder why, but somehow I've lasted. You know why? Because I'm a friend who's not looking for anything. Once you stop looking and aiming to please, they fall at your feet. I learned that for years. You can't aim to please. And it's so crazy because one of the gentlemen says to me, well, so he says, so because you're an only child, you never seek to please anybody? And I said, no, I don't please anybody but myself. And it's not to say I don't please people. I do please. I make it my business to please people I love. I make it my business to go out of my way for people to the point where they know I care about them. But don't you ever think I'll put you above me. You got your own life. Put yourself above. So for a man to be threatened and feel uncomfortable with women, or a woman who thinks like that, or a woman, what he's looking for truly doesn't exist. What he wants is, he wants mom. He wants a woman who's nurturing like mom, right? Because if that wasn't true, then why would he mention things about single fathers and not seeing your mother get love from single fathers and things like that, and having to grow up and see somebody kissing your mother every day, that does nothing for a lot of young boys because it doesn't matter. But what you're showing me is that you have a Oedipal complex, because at the end of the day, you're worried about someone giving your mother love as if that was the only demonstration of love you've seen in your life. Nigga, I didn't have my father and mother together. But guess what? Everybody else was in my family was married, and my mother had long-term boyfriends. They might as well have been husbands, longer than some people's marriages. So you mean to tell me I don't know anything about how love is supposed to be displayed? Well, I know enough about love to know that you don't love that girl that you're exploiting, but better her than me. That's why you only got my pussy one time. I'm one of those girls. I'm one of the girls where if I like a guy, I might throw him some pussy because I'm curious. But after that one time, I've had my share, unless it was amazing and I'm really into you. Because sometimes I've had great sex, but I'm not into the guy, and so I don't go back. It was one and done. We had fun. Enjoy it. Keep that as a memory. And so I feel like a lot of women need to be honest. There are so many women out here lying about how they conduct their lives and their sexual lives and about what they prefer from a man. And like, if you were honest, you could get to it quicker. Because after you see that conversation coupled with a couple other conversations, what I realized was that this man, he actually really likes me a lot. That's why he's trying to guilt me with all these conversations. And if that wasn't the case, then why even approach me? Like, so one day when nobody was around and I was getting ready to leave, he asked me straight up and plainly, and I gave him a straight up plain answer, which was like, hey, Andrew, thank you so much. And I really am very flattered about the fact that you think I'm really that bitch in terms of sex, because I am. Nothing like two Scorpios, you feel me? And I'm on the Libra cusp, so I get a little bit creative. Freaky like a Libra, but fucking go hard like a Scorpio. But at the same time, I get the best of both worlds. But at the same time, it's like, just keep the memory, right? Like, you had an opportunity to lock it down. If you wanted this that bad, you'd have locked it down. But what you need is, you need multiple bitches. So you have to deal with the pool of women that come into your life when you invite threesomes. They're not the same type of women. And I'm not talking about the girl who is trying a threesome out for the first time. Sorry, this chair. I'm not talking about the girl who's trying the threesome out for the first time. I'm talking about the girls who keep giving you threesomes because they think that's going to rope you into a relationship. And I guarantee you that when I blow and when bitch sees these videos, she's going to come looking and say, you know what? You really are right. That didn't make no sense what I was doing. I was having fun, yes. Because maybe she does like women. Maybe she does like threesomes. Maybe she's having fun. But if you like threesomes and you like women, you can have a threesome with women, with any man. Why are you keep giving this same man the same? This is, to me, a threesome is like this. Even if a woman is a lesbian, you are not entitled to a threesome with her and her boo thing, or her and the woman that she's seeing, just because she's a lesbian. As a matter of fact, if she's a bisexual woman and she's cool with you, don't you dare ask her for a threesome. Maybe the woman she's with is someone that she actually cares about and that she doesn't want to bring into your life for sexual exploitation. So men have to get over that. Certain men in our Black community, they have to kind of get over that mindset where they set the terms. Let me remind y'all niggas of something. Don't nobody give a fuck about your opinions. If they did, you'd be in a better position in life. The reality is we're trying to change this shit so people actually care about what Black men think and do. The reality is America don't give a fuck about what some of y'all niggas is saying. And the sheer fact that when I come around certain Black friends, certain Black men, and when I talk about friends, I'm talking about the guys. Because my girls is pretty much right, because I don't hang out with hood rat bitches. So most of my women are entrepreneurs and they got their head right. But the fact of the reality is that when you come around certain men, like I have two groups of men. One group is like the boys. And then another group is grown ass men that do not even talk like, act like, and behave like the boys. And what I realized is that I'm too grown to hang out with the boys. Tonight is my last night ever hanging out with the boys. Those boys will never see me. Because what I have to show them by leaving their presence is that I'm too excellent for you. The excellence, I'm too excellent. You need women who are either super trash or women who don't know how good they are yet. I looked at homegirl and I looked at her and oh, she was so pretty. Beautiful brown skin, everything gorgeous, okay? Something in her face said, I'm putting on a little bit of an act because I want this man to like me. Because I her name, but I had her before, and she came in raging angry that day, and today she came in super happy, but she had the same, but with the range of emotions, she still had the same look on her face, which is like, what am I doing here? What do they be saying about me when I'm gone? Honestly, they say a lot of shit about you when you're gone. The same way they say things about me when I'm gone, but my pussy is tight and my legs are closed. The difference is they don't talk about how they were having, oh, so this chick, this is literally what he said to me 3 or 4 weeks ago. So this chick I'm dating now, it's like everything I want, but like she wants to like, I don't know, I really love it because she's freaky and she loves to have threesomes. She likes girls, but it's like, damn, but she really wants to have these, I guess the girl wants kids. Maybe she wants kids. But he's trying to convince her that all he wants is threesomes and they have a great situation now. Why have kids? Because it is her natural right to have children. So if you aren't going to do that with her and all you're going to do is play in her pussy, because that's what I say. I say things like that. You're not going to play in my pussy today. You're not going to play. And I haven't had anyone play in my pussy since before Skins. Anyone I had sex with after my fiance passed was someone I actually liked. But prior to him, all I kept getting were, I was in her situation. I was in a situation where I liked guys and they liked me too, but only because they felt that there was an opportunity to have some mind-blowing sex or to have some sexual fantasy fulfilled. And then when you realize that that's how they think, it starts to make you disgust yourself for allowing them to have access to you. That's why my pussy is tight and my legs are closed. You don't get access. I don't give a fuck if you think I'm not a 10. You think I'm going to take these clothes off and jump on your dick so I could prove to you that you think I'm a 10? Suck my dick. Suck my dick. Yes. Suck my clit, nigga. Because at the end of the day, suck my clit, nigga. Because at the end of the day, you're going to still be asking for this pussy regardless of whether you think I'm a 10 or not. That's why I have the right to say I am one. Because you keep looking. And then men will say, well, sometimes men will tell women they're pretty because that's what they need to hear and things like that. Well, honestly, it's a good thing I take most of my compliments from children and women. It's a good thing that I take almost all my compliments from children and women. I learned years ago to not rely on the word of a lot of these hood boogers and a lot of these low-level, low-achieving, low-aspiring Black men. Because their number one appear, and because it's not overall Black man's problem. There are a lot of wonderful Black men out here, especially in 2020. There are a lot of good Black men out here that think right. But then there are the ones who think they think right. And then you look around at their life and you're like, all you have is hoes around. And you don't have no love. And 2 weeks from now, you'll be done with this girl. And then what happens when you're done with her? What happens when you're done with her? On to the next girl? Like, nigga, don't you get tired of even putting your dick in random boxes? Because the type of men that I like, that's how they think. They don't want to keep having sex with, they might have the girlfriend for a couple years and then cheat on her with someone else that they fuck with for a while. But they don't jump around every other week with their dick in something new. I mean, that's how you get diseases. I almost feel like sometimes I get scared because when men act and behave that way, I almost think like, is he trying to give me a disease? Like, is he out here fucking his life away because he knows he has AIDS? Is he out here fucking his life away because he knows he has herpes? So to be honest with you, I run for the hills when I run from the hills when men are too sexually forward. It scares me. Those days are over. We're not kids anymore. Let the 20-year-olds do that. I mean, I get it when the little young boys or the little young girls on the bus and on the train when they're all on their neck and shit. Little 16 and 17-year-old kids love each other. Let them have fun. But for us, we're grown. That's another thing. People want to have sexual exploitation and but I did say that I'm in my early 30s, right? So threesome time is over. And I think it's sad because literally, if I didn't have the head on my shoulders that I do, because I do have a good head on my shoulders, I'm very, look, what you guys will realize is that I'm very proud of myself. I beat myself down a lot because I need to achieve more. But when it comes to certain things, I won't dare beat myself down for these lames. I mean, while these lames are sitting here talking about a lot of Black women think they're more beautiful than they are, and a lot of this shit has got these women gassed. You know what gasses me in the morning? When I wake up, about to close a deal, go outside and start jumping rope and working on my body and taking care of myself, that really does gas me. That is exactly what makes me feel as though I am a 10. Because I put the fucking work in. You got these bitches out here paying for their fucking body, paying for their hair, paying for everything to be fake. And you guys will elevate those bitches and make them believe that they're 10s. But you know why you really do it? For the same reason that boy just told me. So if it's not relevant when they do it to me, it's not relevant when they do it to she. Do you know why? Because what I've just realized is that you guys don't really give a fuck about our appearance. What you care about is being able to manipulate. Men want women that they can. Unstable and immature men want women that they can manipulate. Grown men want full-grown women with lives. When I talk to Boy from DFS, the conversation is wonderful. We don't get into certain things because it's not necessary. We talk about work, we talk about, and this is a man I never had sex with, but that has taken me to so many wonderful, over the years, has taken me to a couple of wonderful restaurants, and is just overall a good person. Now, is he a colorist? He might be. But he loves me, so at the end of the day, let him be what he wants. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm not... Ladies, we have to get to the point where we have to get to the point where we stop looking for these men to choose us. Honey, choose yourself. A lot of men will choose things that are beneficial to their wants and their desires, but not their needs. I mean, nigga, look like your house needs to be clean. You need a woman around here. Nigga, look like your laundry is piled up. 50 years old and don't got no children. You might actually need a real woman. You need a woman instead of a kid, or a woman who is gaslighting as a kid. Like, you could look at her face and tell that she is not proud of herself when she has to see another woman sitting there knowing that these men talk. The same way they talk about me. I'm sure they talk about me. I'm sure they say, who does she think she is? She's not as pretty as she thinks she is. She thinks she's better than everybody, but she's nobody. No, it's not that I think I'm better. I know I'm better. I never, ever have to subjugate myself to your sexual proclivities ever, ever. And that's the thing. They want to tear us down a little bit so they can gain access. You can't break a bitch down. You can't, it don't work over here. No, I mean, we're in 2020, even the hoes got better sense. Even the prostitutes got better sense. They do. I never look down on the hoes and prostitutes. Get money. The sluts, those are the ones I look down on. Like the bitch in the house right now. She's a slut. You know why she's a slut? Because she don't get nothing. All she gets is talked about and dogged. At least the hoe got money. At least she could pay her bills after she done busted open for you and your homegirl. So my question is, since you want this threesome, how much you gonna pay? That's grimy, right? No, I can't even be paid for that shit. But you understand what I'm saying? These women are doing things for niggas that even the prostitutes wouldn't do for free. And somehow these men feel like they have a right and a way to sift through us. Like, you know why? I read this thing in The Economist, and it's true. There's no balance in our community because there's too many women for every man. And that's why Black women have to start dating outside of the race. You have to date other men. I mean, when I go to my real estate office where I'm working right now, and I talk about these, and I have little conversations happen. The men in my office, they agree with me. You know why they agree with me? And they're non-Black men. They agree with me because they know they watch with the good sense. They're few and far in between. So you got to really keep them tight. If you got one, I got one, or actually, I have about 4 or 5 good sense romantic interests that I have. The only one of them. So you got to keep them close by. It's not this woman, but don't you want him to know you and respect you so that you can gain favor in his life and be taken care of? I mean, I did watch the girl come over twice already and have no jewelry on her and materialistic. I don't know. I'm a strong believer of jewelry and something that a man will put on a woman so that you know that's his woman. And the only way he'll do that is if he really feels that you're his woman. No man's going to buy bracelets and things for women that they don't value. No man is going to entertain women on that level to spend that type of money and value you if he didn't do it before. And if he valued you before and you have too many threesomes, you might undo that. So I just want Black women to know that you have it, honey. You have it, and these men are shook. We have it. These men are shook. Right now, 2020 is so wonderful for us because we are sought after. We have a lot of options. It's like, you see how they say it's a buyer's market for the houses? Same thing for us. It's like, yo, have your pick of any man you want. I mean, they're lining up. This is the first time in history I've ever actually encountered Asian men hollering at Black women out and out. Men that stay traditionally in their own communities. So what I'm saying is that we have options. So before you try, men sometimes they try to pull a little reverse psychology, like, let me make her feel like she's not a 10. Let me make her do all these things so I can have her doing a threesome. No, you don't give him shit. He doesn't deserve shit. Because he wants to exploit your body. If you're with a man and he wants to exploit your body and that's all he thinks about, your body, and then sending you some stupid videos like, yo, the guys I deal with in my life, we talk about real things, interest rates, stock options, business plans, investments, assets, real estate. I mean, you got the man sending you little pictures and videos of ghetto boys and kids. Like, he literally is engaging in the same behavior he engages with his boys with you. I mean, he don't take you nowhere. Y'all haven't been out. Some lotion on my speakers. I don't know how that got there. Must have been pumping it out and it just went. Look, the guy don't take you out. Every time I see them, and maybe he does take her out, but I don't think he does. Every time I see them, it's like order in and take out. And you know why? Order in and have sex in the house. And you know why men do that? Because they can. Because you don't require him to take you anywhere. I had some homeboy hit me up. I don't even know who he is. Some guy who says he knows me from a real estate place I used to work at. He may know me, he may not, but he kept pressing so I'm taking you out on Tuesday. Listen, you asked if you could take me out on Tuesday, but I'm not available. Because you're not the type of man I even want to spend time with anymore. I don't want to spend time with men who need to be coddled. Like, what boy in Andrew's house was talking about, but it's too hard for y'all to just let a man lay his head on y'all chest? Yeah, it is. Because my chest is for my children. My bro, that's not mom, honey. That is a woman. You are a grown man. Get off my tit. I have children. It's sickening and I don't even want it. I literally don't even want it. I don't want it because it's foolish. It's one of the reasons why women like Amanda Seales are still single today. You holding out for this black brother that don't exist. The ones that do this, they don't want you. You're too black for them. That's a fact. The ones that actually value women, they don't value strong-minded black women who know they're black. They value certain types of black women, yes, as long as she's easy to deal with and a little ditzy and airy, and maybe but very, very rarely do you see Idris and, I forget her name. That's a rare occasion where you get a black man of esteem wifing up a black woman who's not a dummy. She's actually pretty and smart, and is her last name Howard? Sabrina Howry, I think. She's smart, she's pretty. Yeah, she's light, but so what? She's not that light. She tans nice, and she's got a nice body. And at the end of the day, she is a catch. There were definitely niggas at one point in her life who tried to tell her she wasn't a dime piece so that they could get a piece of that ass. And she held out. Now look who she got. Women, hold out. Hold out. This is 2020. Keep your pussy tight and your legs closed. Trust me, the man who you're looking for will appreciate it. Do you know how good it feels to me when I give it a man I like and I haven't had sex for a while, and then we have sex and that shit is tight like I'm 15 years old? It makes me feel so beautiful and so wonderful. Because now the guy that I love gets to enjoy my body the way it was intended perfectly. I mean, imagine this. You're giving up threesomes and fucking this nigga and that nigga trying to get these men to rally behind you and see your value. And then here comes the man you actually like and you're all run through. Now he wants to hit. I don't want it now. So when I say I keep my pussy tight, it's because I don't want to have sex, man. I was horny as hell yesterday. My period's on the way and I get horny before I'm period. But to be honest with you, it's like saddening. It's a little saddening. Like, I'm not going to always clearly not valuing her. And, I know when a man is full of shit because trust me, if you didn't like me like that, you wouldn't have. First of all, I see, it took for my neighbor, her name is Gloria, took for my neighbor to sit here and tell me, because she's older and she peeped game. She was drinking and she peeped game. I'm not even drinking. I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. I haven't smoked and drank for Lent. I'm wired. I got mad energy. It's midnight. But she had to put me on. She said, well, one of the reasons why they asked if you're leaving is because they didn't want you to leave. She wanted to have that threesome with you. He wanted that threesome. 3 of y'all. Wow, did that go red? Sorry. That was like that time that I was sitting with Meech at that bar over in, was it Bensonhurst or Diker Heights? And an old Puerto Rican, not old Puerto Rican, young, pretty Puerto Rican girl was staring at me. And I thought she was about to pop off. I thought we was about to be fighting. And then Meechie comes over and he's like, yo, nah. She like you. She came, she told me she wanted to holla. But she don't know how. Well, the reason why she don't know how is because I'm not giving her no energy because I don't like women. But I was fucking flattered because she was really pretty. So I was really flattered. But like, okay, here's what I love women. I love women's bodies, everything. I'm a woman. I have no problem with women's bodies being everywhere. But when you talk about me putting my mouth on your vagina, putting my mouth on your breasts, and kissing you and doing all that stuff, I don't have sexual proclivities to women. I am an artist, like a painter, a drawer. So I grew up literally in school sketching old naked men and naked ladies and naked people and taking new pictures for artistic purposes. I love the female's body. I actually love the male's body when it's right. So I think a lot of women are out here performing sexual acts to get acceptance. And what they're doing is they are running down their stock. All them sexual acts, you're supposed to be doing that to your husband. When your husband puts the ring on, you're supposed to be doing everything. You want a threesome? Here's when the threesome happens. Here's how I envision a threesome happening in my life. I'm with a man. We've been together for some years. We have children. Things are a little dry. Maybe one of my homegirls is around, and I like her. You know, she's pretty. Me and my homegirl will take him down. But at the end of the day, it's a takedown mission. It's not a threesome. It's not for his pleasure. It's for his pleasure, but it's not solely on his terms. You don't get to pick what to wishes. Next thing you look around, you're sick one day and there's nobody there to take care of you. You know why? Because you done used their bodies up so much. It's like, I wouldn't be surprised, and I don't know the history of these women, what they do later, but I wouldn't be surprised because I'm like this, and I wouldn't be surprised if some women are like this too. Not to say they're all like this, but I wouldn't be surprised if certain women will fuck with Andrew, be exploited by Andrew, and after Andrew, they decide, no, I got to get married to somebody who really values me. That's the wake-up call. Sometimes you need to be exploited by an Andrew. Sometimes you need to be exploited by an Andrew to help you smart up. You know why? Because if Andrew doesn't exploit you, you will never learn something that us only children have known since day one. It's about me, nigga. It's about me. You come in this relationship because I'm a woman. It's about me. You don't like it? Too fucking bad. It's about me. And if it wasn't about me, you wouldn't be asking me to fuck you. And once women start seeing that and hearing that in their head, because it doesn't matter, he could fuck this girl all night. And if I call him right now and say, come through, he will. Once you realize the power that you have as a woman, you can never be tested. Some of these women are still girls. And the boys fuck with the girls. And the women fuck with the men. So I'm a woman. And I made a decision tonight that I can't hang out with the boys anymore. There'll be no seeing me. There'll be no hanging out with me. I'm getting super selective in my 30s. Whereas back in the day, I would keep a lot of random energy around me because maybe I have a friend and they have other friends and all that coupled together. And now friends are hanging out with friends. And the real reality is that these friends, my grandmother always taught me that friends were really not to be valued. It's so sad that she taught me that. But it's true. There are friendships that'll always be valued. And it's so crazy how she knows which ones those are. When she asked me certain names, Kana, Tamika, Leslie, Michael, Vicky, those are my real friends. It's so crazy. Like, even my grandmother knows who my real friends are, and she hasn't lived next to me in years. She doesn't even know my new friends, but she knows they're not real friends. Do you know why she knows that? Because she has a lot of wisdom. And she realizes that people are only there to exploit you when it's beneficial to them, even down to the girlfriends you hang out with every day. To chase women down. I thought it was foolish and stupid. Because if there's one thing you understand about women is that when it comes to going out and showing out, we have a codependency on one another. The only time I ever really needed them or need them is when we step out in public and need to take some pictures and go to a venue and look like some bad bitches. Other than that, I don't ever need them in my life. They don't bring a lot. Public and need to take some pictures and go to a venue and look like some bad bitches. Other than that, I don't ever need them in my life. They don't bring a lot of that are based off of like, let's hang out, have value. You know when your female relationships are have value? When you're entrepreneurs. And when you see the value in one another because you're speaking positivity into each other's existence. Like, for example, me and my hairstylist. Shout out to Karima. Me and my trainer. Even though I haven't worked out with her for a year, I still consider her my trainer because she's responsible for giving me the body that makes me believe I'm a 10. Shout out to Tanya. The real reality is like those women, I value them so highly. I don't even think they know how highly I value them. I put them on top because they belong on top. They respect themselves in ways that bitch at Andrew's house could never understand. She'll never be on our level because she's on the level of still trying to please men. Once you realize that men are here to please us, life will change for you, honey. And that's all I have to say. So in closing, Black woman, please know your value. All right? Okay? Guard against any energy that's inappropriate in your life. Swim. So why are you standing in the middle of the ocean? No one's going to save you, honey. You're just going to drown. While all of us are over here on the yacht. Because we knew we couldn't swim. So we had the patience to sit and wait for the man with the yacht to pull up. We had the patience to sit and wait for someone with the crown jewels to show up. She had the patience to preserve her beauty and to wait for a man like Idris Elba. And look at her. Y'all bitches could never touch her. Some of you guys look dirty in the face. Like, have you ever seen girls from the hood that you could tell they have a lot of sex and they look dirty in the face? I was starting to look like that years ago. I mean, like when I was 23, 24, 25. I was starting to look like that. A girl who gets no sleep because all she's doing is fucking drinking and eating and having alcohol and sex and all that shit. Bunch of vices in your life and it starts showing up on your face. Oh my God. There's a period in my life where there's dark circles and everything's emaciated, but I'm in a full thing of makeup and a sexy outfit. No, I don't care to live like that anymore. I care to live a righteous life. I care to live an appropriate life where I'm a self-respecting woman. Okay, if that means that he has to go out there and fuck everything, better I be married so I can be supported and be the most important person and take every fucking dollar. To me, when you become a woman, a grown woman, and I think that I understand what Karima was saying now. I gave her a hard time about it a couple years ago, but I understand it. When you become a grown woman like I'm becoming, because I don't consider myself the most mature woman. I know how to get money. I do. I know how to get money. I'm a business savvy woman. But yeah, I'm a little immature. And the reason why I say I'm immature is because maybe there is something to giving more than you receive. But what I see is a lot of Black women giving, and a man is never pleased. It's like, oh, but you didn't do that. Oh, yeah, you're pretty and all that stuff, but it don't count because you didn't have a father figure. Oh, you had 2 uncles in your life, 3, 4, 5 uncles in your life raising you and teaching you things about men, but it didn't count. Because you didn't have your father there to show you what love was like, even though your mother had a boyfriend for over 7 or 8 years that was very loving and took you everywhere, more places than your own father did. But it doesn't count. Rich ones, and the reason why we say rich, it's really not a money thing. So let me take rich out of it. The only men, Black men, that we care about in America are the ambitious ones. Good corporate money. I mean, there's a difference between having a job and being a VP and being a fucking partner. Okay, because even these suit niggas, we judge them on different levels. There's the boys that do the spreadsheets and do the work, and then there's the partner. who comes up with all the great ideas for you guys to execute. So literally there's levels to everything, and women will get used if they don't start realizing that men are for us. Men are for us. Men are for us. They're here to please us. We are the receptacle for the seed. They cannot do this without us. And once you start realizing that, to the point where it disgusts me how many times I have to say it, that makes me realize that I might be living in the wrong neighborhood. There's something to be said about trying to live in a hood because you want to be around your people, but then having a bunch of black men try to belittle you because you're actually proud of your hair, because you're actually proud of the way you look, because you're actually doing something with your life. Like, just because I wear weave, nigga, doesn't mean I don't love my hair. Thank God that I am powerful. Thank God I am a goddess. Thank God. Thank God I am powerful. I am a force to be reckoned with. And that will not change based on my hairstyle, honey. I am a force when my hair is straight. I am a force when my hair is kinky. I am a force when my hair is curly. I am a force when my hair is in braids. I am a force when my hair is in cornrows. I am a force when my hair is in locks. All right? I am a force when I am bold and bald. Black women, we are forces. These niggas wish they could be us. Some of these men want to be us. They're mad. They want to be us, some of them. Meanwhile, I should have known that this conversation would have been stupid because these are the same men who are sitting here asking us, well, what happened to the girl? Why? What did she do? How she ended up getting jumped? No, stupid. And I'm disappointed in Andrew. You know why I'm disappointed in Andrew? When I first met Andrew, he was a sweetheart. And it looked like he's changed a lot over the last couple of years trying to fit in with the niggas around here. When really you're supposed to be leading by example. Men like you should be married with your little weed empire princess. And like, it's crazy to me how because a man can't execute those dreams, he will sit there and try to make it seem like those dreams are stupid. No, we know you want a woman who looks like something, acts like something, and is something. I'm saying something because I don't have the categories. It's for them to decide what the categories are. But you know you're looking for a specific type of woman. And it has nothing to do with threesome. Because when I try to compare it to threesome, you say, well, they're two different things. I have a girl I want to do a threesome with. That doesn't mean I want to be married to her. Or I even see her as marriage material or wifey material. Those are two separate things. That's sad. It's sad. It's sad that men will continue to stick their dick in things that they don't consider wifey. I think that's stupid. So for my friend that I'm not talking to, he is that's one of the things that I actually loved about him. There are very few things that I love about him, but one thing I love about him was he understood what time it was in terms of with his woman. Why should he go out there putting his dick in everything? This is what he told me one time. Why should he go out there putting his dick in everything when at the end of the day, he's got his girl right there? Exactly, honey. And a lot of these men, they don't even know how to keep a woman. And that's the reason why they want to go out here and have all this sex. They've never sat down and thought, well, let me take my girl on a date. Well, let me do this. And I don't give a fuck that you've been married. Your marriage was trash. It had to have been because it didn't last. I think that when people are in love, they make shit happen no matter what. For example, if she can't have kids and you guys can't conceive because something's wrong with her body, how does that end a marriage? All it has to do is motivate you guys to adopt or have someone else carry. Maybe you can extract one of her eggs and have someone else carry a surrogate. You see? And that's what money affords you. An opportunity to make your dreams come true, even in the face of adversity. So rather than waste your time with these threesomes, why not get some more money so that you could continue to support your wife and actually have a child with her? And actually, no, you know why? Because you were enticed by rap and ghetto boy music, and not even just ghetto boy music, even the Caribbean music. It's so salacious. All the soca is salacious. I don't give a damn if you're from Grenada or St. Vincent or Barbados. The soca is salacious as well. And the music is salacious. So at the end of the day, people are behaving like like the music that influences them. I'm a victim of it. I've done it too. We've all been influenced by the art imitates life and life imitates art. So it's like what came first, the chicken or the egg? It doesn't matter. The reality we're gonna have to pull back. But I won't say it can't be done. I mean, I know I just had some low these same lowly niggas try to convince me that black people can't be saved and we can't be enlightened. These men are defeatists. How I know these men are defeatists? I know they're defeatists because they would rather fuck their life away than try to rebuild something here. They think that our community is doomed. They'll never keep trying. They look at each other and one another, and literally, Andrew thinks that old boy stole from him. Why is old boy even in your fucking living room if you think that he robbed you a couple months back? If I had any suspicion of anyone robbing me, they wouldn't even be standing next to me. But yet I'm pussy because I don't want to tell young black boys that I don't like men who have problems with mom. No, I'm respectful. And as a matter, so it took me a long time to even get to that point, and I'm actually glad I've arrived there because I don't need to hurt his feelings. I understand what it's like to have a fucked up mother, and I understand what it's like to not have pops around like that. So because I can sympathize and empathize, it brings tears to my eyes too. I really, when I'm around, I have mom problems. I always tell them this: I'm not your mother. Which is like, don't treat me like your mother because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna love you unconditionally because I don't know you. That's the truth. The truth is, you are a stranger to me. Don't treat me like your mother. If you treat me like your mother, you will be. The truth is, don't treat me like your mother. Because if you treat me like your mother, you'll be rudely and sadly reminded that I'm not your mother. But that doesn't mean I don't have sympathy for the fact that you and your mom are not in a good place. So when I get around, and I got a couple friends like that. I mean, I got like 3 or 4 friends, and then one of my friends just lost his mom. I got a few people who have bad moms, young black men who have bad moms. So when I get around them, I don't say things about I can't fuck with a man who. I say things about money because money can change. You know why? Money is a challenge. You ain't getting a lot of money today. By tomorrow, you'll be getting a lot of money. You could be broke as fuck today and be up tomorrow if you know how to get this money. So money shouldn't offend men the way it does because it's available. It's out there for the taking. And if you're ambitious, you know that. But you know what a young kid cannot help? I cannot help the fact that my father did not want to raise me. He cannot help the fact that his mother was a drunk, punching him in the chest every day. She cannot help the fact that her father was a womanizer, bringing women to the house all the time. He cannot help the fact that his mother was strung out on drugs, and so he had to walk into different crack spots to find her. So why should we be held accountable? Why do we keep trying to hurt each other that way? That's why when I say guard your energy around people who are hurting. I'm not hurting the way I was, so I can see it clear as day. I was hurting a lot when I lost my fiance. And before that, I was in a blissful, very blissful place for those 3-4 years before he passed. It was almost as if I was living the most perfect life. And then I got really awakened and humbled when I lost him. I got humbled because it reminded me that I had an angel. It's very difficult to have an angel in these lives, in this new life that we have. So when you seek ascension, you can't be on the ground level with the pigs in the dirt. I want to ascend too. I want to ascend to the heavens with my man. I want to ascend to the heavens with Mr. Miles Davis. I want to ascend to the heavens with Miss Celia Cruz. I want to ascend to the heavens with Malcolm X, with Marcus Garvey, with Madam C.J. Walker. I want to be in people's minds when they think about Black women who changed this place. And that's more important than having your threesomes. And if you were a man of any substance, you would understand that and you'd respect it. You'd actually want to be a part of that story more than anything. And there are several men in my life who do. So I'm going to keep my energy on their side, and I'm going to distance myself away from boys. Just because we smoke weed doesn't mean that I'm a fucking child. And you know, it's so crazy because I haven't smoked in like since Lent. I probably smoked Friday I smoked like a half a blunt. But honestly, I haven't woken up and smoked every day since Lent. And so what that's showing me is that now that I have my mind clear, there's no sitting back and agreeing with some of the fuckery that's coming. When I'm high, I could sit back and agree with a lot of bullshit. But when I'm sober, I'm too heated. My energy is too. You know why? Because I don't tolerate nonsense. And I could look at girl's face and tell that she's going to be embarrassed by her behavior when in like a year from now she sees me all over the place and she's like, oh shit, that's the girl that was sitting next to Mike every day. Oops, I dropped his name by accident. That's the girl who was sitting next to Andrew every day. Honey, I don't think that I was getting ignored. Don't think that I don't want him. I'll be honest with you. When Andrew and I had sex, one of the things that turned me off was he sweat all over me because he was very heavy at the time. Now Andrew's lost a little bit of weight, and I think that I might have inspired that. Or he might have just wanted to get healthy for himself. I can't take credit for everything. That's my ego. So let me step back. He lost weight. He looks better. Okay? Say that that's normal during sex. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because when you fuck with a man whose stamina is on point, he don't even break a sweat. He fucks so good that his sweat, what sweat? The most sweat you might feel is maybe a little bit on his back when you touch him. But let me tell you something about how nigga was dripping on my face, dripping all over my body. I know girl is not enjoying fucking that every night. She wants to be loved. Don't you see? And you want to continue to exploit her. That's why you're a no good, dirty dog and you'll never have anybody. That's probably the real reason why your marriage ended. It probably has nothing to really do with miscarriage. People wonder, do I care about whether this will bite me in the ass later? I don't give a fuck about any of it. I don't give a fuck about any of it. I wonder if I have any movies on this movie card. I might go see something. Look, I just got distracted. I'm sorry, guys. I just picked up a butt of a blunt from 3 days ago. I realized there was no weed on it. I'm not smoking because there's something real about being at the top of your game and being free of any vices. I need to be free in every way. I can't have weed control me. I can't have liquor control me. Love to smoke. I love GDP. You know, I love some white gold. I love some Pineapple Express. I love some blue cheese. I love some platinum, sour, haze. I smoke it all. I'm a black person. I smoke weed. But what I don't do is I don't allow weed to cloud my judgment. What I do is if I need to make judgments and I need to do things and fulfill things, I got to get away from weed because what it does is it placates everything. It makes us weak, just like Vicky Dillard said. It makes us weak. It makes us weak in a mental way. It is a relaxing body thing, but a lot of what we're doing to ourselves has happened to deal with the fact that we're weak. A lot of what's happening to us happens to deal with the fact that we're weak. We are weak. We are a weak people because there are a lot of vices running through our community. I mean, the alcoholism is on 10. Everyone's a weed head now. I mean, there were people who didn't even smoke back in the day who smoke crazy now. And I'm one of them. I'm one of the people who I smoked, but not a lot. And I smoke too much now. Almost makes me wonder what they put in that shit. People want to say they know the grower. Everybody thinks they know the grower, except you don't really know what you can know the grower. We all know the fucking grower. I know like 5 growers, no lie. But I don't know what the fuck they put in their soil. I don't know what the fuck. I trust that what they put in there is healthy, but at the same time, money talks. So who's to say that they can't be slighted by these big companies that are going to emerge? I mean, this weed business is about to be sicker than the tobacco business. So right now, enjoy it as the way you can, but in like 20 years from now, I will not be smoking whatever that weed is that they have, that they're manufacturing. I won't be smoking that. I'm starting to think that the weed is too strong now. All the splicing and engineering has made the weed too strong. And so a lot of people are not realizing it, but they are killing that energy. And then when a person me comes around wide awake, they say it's hype. No, it's hype to you because you don't ever see a world in which you can affect change. All you see is the block. And all you see is we can't. Well, that explains why you don't never have nothing. Because you can't never have nothing. You don't believe in having nothing. You don't believe in having anything. If you did, you would. And sometimes I feel like Andrew knows better, but he just sits there entertaining the boys because he needs to keep these hood niggas around to maintain safety. But at the same time, I don't really believe that he truly believes everything. And I don't truly believe that he is siding with everything that these boys believe. I truly believe that these men, some of these boys men that behave like boys, I do believe that they are holding each other back. Because when I look at one circle of guys, I see head in a book, this, and that. Then when you look at another circle of guys, you see men who care about threesomes and weed and drinking. Oh my God, I'm so tired of it. Anyway, I'm going to stop ranting and raving on these men. What I'm just trying to say, Black woman, is you are a 10 if you believe it. You are a queen if you believe it. You're a hoe if you believe it. You're a slut if you believe it. But the only way you could validate any of the labels is what you believe. And here, the labels are there not for someone to place them on you, but for you to pick the labels. I had a lot of labels to choose from when I was a child, and I could have chosen so many labels, but I didn't choose them. I chose these. Because I could have chosen the baby mother. I could have also chosen to be, I don't know, like big sis or something. Like I could have chosen a lot of paths where I'm subservient to men that are undeserving, is what I'm trying to say. Whether it's by pushing their baby or by raising their baby with no support or by coddling them to no avail with no support. I feel bad for women that continue to do that in 2020. Honey, you could actually have a threesome with a better man. If threesome is all you care about, why not get a man who actually loves you and have one with? This man only likes you because you have threesomes. He told us this to our faces, and you think it's cute. And that's one of the reasons why we will continue to lose. Because women, we have to put our foot down, and you have to demand a certain level of respect from certain members of our community. Because if you don't demand it, and even when you do demand it, they will sit there and try to make you feel like they're crazy. The same theory that Boy was talking about, why it'll never work because everyone's trying to claw for each other. is the reason why I gotta stay on the side of the winners and I gotta get away from y'all losers. Because only losers think like that. Only losers think that we can't do anything. Only losers think that we cannot advance. Only losers rate women by threesomes. Only losers say things like they don't want a woman who has her body done, but then they end up getting with bitches that all have their body done. Black, and I'm talking about my community because I'm well versed in my community and I live in the community. And believe it or not, every man in this community wants a piece of me. Not because I'm more beautiful than anybody else or more special than anybody else, but because I don't give it to them. Supply and demand. The demand is high, the supply is low. What does that make me? An expensive commodity. Value yourself at the right price, okay? Stop letting him get over. Stop letting him tell you what you like. You walk the fuck out if he wants to have a threesome. You know what you do? You call someone else and have that person send you a car, and now you go to their house. Now you fuck something you want to fuck. It's 2020. We actually don't have any more time to be explaining ourselves. As a matter of fact, that conversation last night was so exhausting that it turned me off. I will not be calling that man the whole summer. He can energy, but the energy is so trash over there. Like, there were better people that used to hang around this person. And when you see this person now, all those people are gone. Then they want to know why women like it's me gets hype. I get hype over certain things because the things I get hype over are important. I'm sorry, but politics are not important in a world where you're trying to make money. I'm sorry, but understanding our rights and our and access to health is not important when we're dealing with coronavirus. Well, I'm sorry, but so the only thing important to you is this little ghetto boy yelling at the top of his lungs, cursing and shit on Instagram or World Star Hip Hop, and whether this woman is going to have these threesomes tonight. You are almost 50 years old. Get a clue, nigga. When you're 50 years old and all your homeboys are 30, you have lost out in life. I understand that you can have young friends, but 20 whole years as a grown man, I don't never see men do that. I never see men hang out with super, super, super younger men. Like, even my homeboys don't hang out with my artists, and they're only like 10 years apart. It's like, but let them tell it. They're winning. That's why Black women, be honest about what you want. Guard your pussy and your energy like the goddess and God that it is. Okay? When we do this, this is not rock. This is ascension. This is the top of the pyramid. Do you understand? Once you understand what the top of the fucking pyramid is about, we don't have time for sex every day. You know when sex is important? When it's time to procreate. You want a hoe? Go get the hoe. Go get her. I don't want her. You could have her tonight. Guess what, nigga? We're still married and we have a business to run. And the same way you go get your hoe on the side, I will go get my pool boy or whatever the fuck I want, man. Sex ain't nothing. You guys put too much stock in it. I feel like sometimes some of these men, God, if some of these men had their dick cut off, they wouldn't know what to do. They couldn't live. Some of these men could not live if they had their genitalia amputated. No. You're supposed to stand so firmly in who you are. Your genitalia doesn't define you. If it was sliced off, could you still stand in your confidence and be yourself? The same way that women remove their breasts for breast cancer and come out being better women. The same way that women have to have their whole uteruses removed due to cervical cancer and end up being better women. Can you be a better man, or is it going to take threesomes for you to do it? God, you guys are sad. And you know the sad part is they'll sit here and try to say that a bitch like me, my opinion doesn't matter, but it seems to matter because when I voice it, look at the tears in your eyes. Look how the boy was tearing up on the sofa. with his frustration, probably with the fact that what I was saying was right. Because you surrounded yourself around so many ain't shit people that you haven't had anyone come around and tell you what's right in a while. And I'm not here to tell you what's right, and I don't run your life. But when it comes to these women, I hate to look at them and be saying sis, but really be thinking stupid bitch. Now here she is in my face, and I have to pretend. I don't do good with pretending. I'm not a fake. Very hard for me to pretend when a woman is being exploited next to me. I could look at her face and tell that she's not comfortable. You know what would have made her more comfortable? If I joined in on the fun. Because then she would have felt justified in her actions. Like, yeah, all the bitches around here are sluts. No, honey. I get to come over any day I want, and I don't have to bust it open, baby. And guess what? I'm not looking for a meal, because I got like 10 men who could buy me a meal, and I could buy my own meal. And so, do they ever learn? You know when they learn? When they got 3 and 4 babies and getting trashed as if you're a baby's mother, but you have no kids. People will say, why you look down on baby mothers? I don't look down on baby mothers. I actually don't look down on baby mothers. I look down on the men who don't make a good woman, who don't make a true woman, an honest woman out of that woman that they drop their seed in. I judge them. I judge the men who don't make it a priority to create a family structure with someone they have a child with. But I know that women play their parts as well. So in her, but yet he can't give her no financial support, but yet he wants a threesome. He deserves nothing. He doesn't even deserve a baby. He doesn't deserve access to your body. He doesn't deserve access to you. He doesn't even to do a litmus test to see if these niggas become more. I pop in every other week or 3 weeks, or even sometimes a month might go by when I don't see these people. I do it because I have my own life and I'm busy. But it looks like every time I come, you're here trying to seduce a man into thinking more highly of you than he does. Look at the way he talked to you when I was on the couch. Even the tone of voice doesn't say that you're my woman. It says that you will go down like I said you will, bitch. That's how it sounds to me. Like, I know a man's tone when he loves a woman. Like, when I hear my producer talk to his wife on the phone, that's love. Okay? When I hear some of my guy friends talk about their girlfriends, it's like love. You know when a man loves a woman. And a woman knows when a man loves her and does not love her. This girl could look at this man and know he does not love her, but yet she keeps giving her body to him. And she may have kids, but if she doesn't, she's even more stupid. Because it's almost more acceptable if she was a baby mother. Because you know what? She got 3 kids already. What's the difference if she hops on some dick tonight? She got 3 kids, 3 baby fathers. She's struggling already. What's the difference if she just enjoys herself tonight? And being a sex toy is worse than being a baby's mother. Because now you don't even have the gift of life. You don't even have the gift of the baby to fall back and lean back on. Baby, I would rather keep my pussy tight and my legs closed. Because if what you're saying is I'm a smut bitch who's gonna hop on the dick and have these threesomes with you, and I don't even get the option of being a mother, when you know damn well you're in your late 40s and I'm in my late 30s and I want to be a mother, nigga, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Finesse somebody else. The bitch is so stupid, she's getting finessed. And I'm so mad for her. I dropped tears in the street for her. Makes me mad. I want to run across a nigga's face. First of all, if you have threesomes with her, why are you telling me? That's y'all's business. But the fact that you told me, I know you're trying to rope me into something, but now you got me looking at your girl like something's fucked up with her. No, something's fucked up with you. And you know what? Something's fucked up with her because she doesn't even know her own value. I wish I could talk to her. I wish I could speak to her. I would tell her, Andrew's not for you. I don't care about you. Andrew only cares about getting his dick wet. He wants to have the comforts of a girlfriend because he wants someone who can do the girlfriend material thing, but also have the threesomes with him. Andrew is spoiled. He wants to have his cake and eat it too, which is the reason why his marriage didn't work. Don't let him tell you it was a fucking miscarriage. The fuck out of here with that. Oh, well, nigga, I said it, nigga. So when you watch this, because you will, eventually there'll come a day where niggas is watching all these videos. When I get aggy, I really do talk like every other hood bitch, because it really gets me mad. What is the level of sophistication needed to describe this situation? You want to get your dick wet, nigga. You got a bitch who wants to have a fucking threesome to please you, nigga. And you think you about to circle in a real, true bad bitch? She's a pretty girl, but I know she looks at me and does not think in one fucking minute that she could supersede me. How come every time she comes over, I'm sitting on the couch? You know why? I don't come often. She's there every day, stalking you for a baby in a relationship that you're never going to give her. Why not just be honest and tell her what you told me 3 weeks ago? Man, I'm fucking with this girl, but she's in her late 30s and it's like she wants to have a baby, but the sex is so good. And one thing I do love about her is it's great because she likes to have threesomes. All right. I hope she's smart enough to trap you for a baby with those threesomes. And if she does, I'm going to give her all the applause in the world. Not because she's trapping you for money, nigga, but because she's in her late 30s. Why are you wasting her time? Let her have a baby with somebody. You know what, nigga? You in your late 40s. Why are you wasting your time? Have the baby with her. Even if you don't want to get married. The life is more important at this point. Like, are we done with wasted nuts? They said be fruitful and multiply. They didn't say nut on bitches' backs for the rest of your life. You've been married, you don't have any children, you have not had a successful life. A man must have children. It makes more sense to me when a woman goes through life without children than when a man goes through life without children. Because women, we have to carry, and we are the vessel. But men, that is your legacy. So at the end of the day, if he doesn't have kids, he doesn't care about his legacy. That's why he's not that ambitious. Yeah, he has a little condo, but he got it in the hood when everybody was buying them for the cheap. That same size condo now, I just looked at it in another building, and it's over $1 million. You couldn't afford it today if you had to buy it because you're not ambitious. You sat, all you wanted to do was fuck, and it shows. Anyway, guard your energy, Black women. Just understand that. Understand that these men are not here for anything but to please us. We need not bend over backwards to please their little fantasies. Because the real reality is if you stay righteous and you do your own thing, his fantasy is to be with a woman who is a goddess. You cannot be a goddess by bending over backwards for these men and by doing everything they say. Men elevate women like Rihanna for a reason. Men elevate women like Beyonce for a reason. They want to talk that shit, but they elevate these women because they respect these women, because these women put themselves first and they know what they want out of life. You know why men don't give a fuck about Oprah when it comes down to this dating shit? Because for a woman with all that money, and at the time she wasn't the worst looking woman. There was a time where Oprah was cute. She had a little bob and she had the little cute frog face. You know, that's a cute face sometimes. That's not what everyone's definition of beauty is, but when you're young and your skin is nice, it's cute. Let me tell you something. Oprah could have had something if she would have made Stedman accountable. By the time he wanted to be accountable, she already had so much money that it made no sense to marry him because now he's benefiting off you. So I understand why she doesn't do it now. But how come he couldn't legitimize you when the relationship was fresh, when you were young and when everybody was on his dick? Now you're the best thing to ever. Your boyfriend is stupid. Sorry. A team. That's what we should be seeking. Men should be elevating women in our community, not tearing us down, not telling us how we're not tens. We don't need to hear that. Honey, I understand that when you see this Afro hair and things like that, I'll never be a 10 to you. As much as you love Black women, you love exploiting us. You don't really love us that much. Because if you loved us, you would legitimize us and make us into true women and do right by us. You would not try to belittle us and make us feel less than because you can't step up to the plate and handle yourself in a more appropriate manner. Don't try to bring other women down with you. And I should know it is a bossed up bitch thing. Beyonce's not an only child. Rhea is. But honestly, Nicki's not an only child. It's me first before you. That's how every successful woman has to be. Because this world was designed for men. So the only way for us to be successful is to scooch men out the side and us first. That doesn't mean I'm a feminist. I love a man that has a great position. I love a man who can have me stay at home and take care of his children and cook the meals and clean the house. I love all that. I actually love cooking. I don't mind cleaning. I'm not the best at cleaning. I find that I'm like a 7 out of 10. There's certain things that I'm just not that good at. And that's just honest. I'm good at keeping things clean, but I'm not good at straightening up because I'm one of those people that like you don't see it in the camera, but I got clutter, papers, and I'm one of those papers people. A lot of papers and clothes all over. But I don't have no food all over. I'm not filthy. But what I will say is this. A lot of these men out here, they don't want to elevate us. They want to elevate other women. So what they want to enjoy our bodies for as long as they can. And then when it's time to really settle down, they're going to choose somebody like the woman I was referencing earlier. They're going to choose the kind of woman who says, no, it's about me. Look at Amal Clooney. Look at how she behaves. She behaves like Clooney is on his fucking knees every day. He does what the fuck she says. Same thing with Idris. When a man loves a woman, he will do everything to keep her. And I learned, thank you, Lord, for blessing me. Listen, God, thank you for blessing me with Mr. Steven. Mr. Steven Kutchko was the best man to ever live in my life because he was a person who knew that I was of value and never treated me for once like I wasn't. And I'm going to give my other friend, who's also named Steve, I'm going to give him a little credit for being a good man, too, because he is a lovely man, but he has bad vices. And he has to learn how to not fall into his emotional bag so much because it's easy for us to get wrapped up in our emotions. It's harder for us to challenge ourselves and to think logically. I get wrapped up in my emotions, but they're fleeting. I get mad in this moment, and in 10 minutes from now, I won't even know what I was mad about. That's how I prefer to live. I like letting shit roll off. Now, once I voice my opinion, once I take it from my head, through my mouth, through my chin and out into the air, it's no longer my problem. That's the therapy. So I really do like, there are good men around here. Like, they are few and far between, but it's hard. With that second person, he's a good person, but he has vices. If he were to clean up his life, he would be an amazing person. He'd be an awesome person. But the thing is, he has to clean his life up. And once you clean your life up, and then my thing is like, once he cleans his life up, is he going to be looking for me? You know how men are. So I don't get my hopes up. All I can hope for in life is to have the power to make my own decisions and to influence the things that are happening in my life. What I don't want to do is get stuck with some man's baby after having 3 and 4. Like, what the fuck? This is not Famous video. Everyone's not in a bed, honey. I don't know where the fuck you think this is. I love that video too. That video is a metaphor for so much of life. But no, we're not. That's not actually happening. We're not actually. Sexual exploitation and overly sexualized artists are actually out. When I look around right now and I look at the rappers out here and the young artists in our community right now, they all have girlfriends, real ones, like that they value and care about. Like, look at G Herbo. He got a girl that he fucking loves her. Little beautiful little relationship. Look at Cardi and Offset. I'm not a big fan of Cardi. Love Offset's music. But he values her. And she was smart enough to know better than to choose some nigga who wanted to have threesomes all the time with her. Because if there's anything I know about a powerful sex, didn't mean that much to us. because there's something keeping you here beyond the sex. I know that if my pussy is dry and when I'm old, you'll be here because there's something about me that you love so much that you cannot live without me. That is the reason why you proposed. And if you don't have a man who thinks like that in your life, you don't have a man. You just have a fuck buddy. You just have a boyfriend is a title that needs to stop being used in your 30s. There's no such thing as boyfriend. I have boyfriends, I don't fuck them. That's either your man or your friend. My grandmother says it like, oh, that's your friend. And then when I had that, my grandmother started calling him my husband. Like this was a man who used to pick her up and take her to the movies. Like my my man took my grandma to the movies more than her own husband ever did. That's how I know. And what I realized is that the common denominator of me finding a man who thinks like that is that the majority of the black men out here are lost and they don't think like that anymore. They are just as lost as everybody else. We're all lost, yes, but they are the most lost. They are going to lose out on us. And I don't give a damn because the best example of a relationship I had was an Italian man. The best relationships I had were other men that were non-black because they understand protection of a woman and loving a woman. And then the black men who understand it, they don't want to do anything about it. They just want to live into their 50s and 60s having threesomes and then wait until he's like 60 trying to get married to some young bitch that don't want you. Get taken for your social security. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we will be out here. Look, this is probably one of the reasons why they like trannies so much now. Um, they've had so many of y'all tens and bad bitches that what's the difference between the bad bitch and the tranny? Barely anything. You both have titties that are redone, ass that's redone, and fake weave. And I'm not looking down on any of those things because there's a good chance that if my titties sag, I will get them done. And there's a good chance that if I want to plump my ass up, I will. But I think I'm good enough right now. I think I'm good enough to get the respect of someone who loves me because I've gotten it before. A lot of the bitches who get their body done are bitches that have never had true love. Once you've had true love and you realize what it feels like, you know it has nothing to do with the way you look. And now I gotta go. Because at the end of the day, it's like, it almost is disheartening to me. Not to say that I'll never find somebody, because I don't believe that. I believe I will find somebody. I'm not that down. I get sad, but I'm not down. I'm not looking for anybody. The person that's going to find me, it's going to be in an organic way, the way it was before. And I'm not looking for anything in particular, but a certain energy that says, I value you so high that I cannot disrespect you and I will not put you below me. Once I have the energy that says, I will not be devalued and you will not, sure, it's stupid. Once I have the energy that says, I do not want to be devalued and you will not devalue me and you can respect that, and I have that energy from you that says, I will treat her right no matter what, even if she is a little crazy, I'll treat her right. Even if she is a little quirky, I'll treat her right. It's like, yo, I had to learn what that was about. I will say with this second Steve, I've never been so insulted in my life by a person, but because he is hurting truth. But it's like, yo, if you want to sit there and say things about my mother and my family, there's a good chance that you'll be out of my life. And what they don't understand is like that kind of, see, by insulting me and insulting my family, and by making certain suggestions sexually, those are the two things. Like, you see, what these men don't understand is that you can't manipulate a manipulator. You cannot outsmart me into wanting to have a threesome, and you cannot finesse me into wanting to spend time with you to prove that I'm better than my mother who has done drugs her whole life. First of all, I already know that. Second of all, it's not your place to judge. Third, I will rock a nigga for my mother. Fuck out of here. Nigga, stand the fuck down. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, Steven, Mr. Steven, he never, ever said anything bad about my family. It was straight love in our relationship. We fought about little stupid shit, sports disagreements, like how to do things with the money. We had money. So, like, to be honest with you, we didn't really fight about big things. I mean, we didn't need to fight. We did not need, we did not need to fight because we were in agreement. We thought alike. I can't be with these. I can't even, I forget be with because I'm not even entertaining it. Like this person I'm talking about, me and him, we don't, he's a friend. We don't fuck with each other. I'm not interested in him. Andrew, I'm not at all. I had that and it was not enjoyable. So every time he tries to have sex, I gotta hit him with the deuces. I'm not interested because I don't want you sweating on me, and I just, that's really what it is. The sweat. But honestly, besides that, like, he's a wonderful man. I wish he would just clean up his act and get someone who he can really love and who can really love him, and stop trying to be this Hugh Hefner playboy. I mean, it's not working out that well. You're putting the wrong women around each other. I mean, to carry that out, you kind of really need some super super youngins. That's why Hugh Hefner had young 20s and 19s and 18s in his mansion because those were the only ones who were willing. I mean, and we started seeing women like Kendra how they started getting once they started hitting 23 and 24. Like, nah, they ain't going for that shit. It was different when we were young and we just needed a bag and we were just trying to be cute and sexy. Now that we're grown, like, yo, even that shit is flawed. Let me tell you something. Men in our community, they gotta smarten up. Otherwise they will get left. They will get left. Black women, guard your energy, and more importantly, keep your legs closed. Have sex with someone if you really truly want to have sex with them. Don't have sex with them because you're pitying them. I've given a lot of pity sex out, I'll be honest. Don't have sex because you think you're supposed to. Don't have sex because, have sex because you want that. Don't have sex because he wants you to have a threesome and you're hoping that that'll be what he needs to, once he gets that out of his system, to all of a sudden wife you up and give you a baby, because he don't want that from you. He don't want it from you. He don't even want it for himself, but when he gets it, he doesn't see you as the vessel. To me, that is the most disrespectful thing. See, a man can sit there and say you're not a 10, or try to, a man could sit there and try to disparage your looks or try to insult your intelligence and things like that. But the bigger insult is when you're not even good enough to have his baby. That is the biggest insult. Like, you're not even good enough on accident to have his baby, but you want to give him a threesome? Just think about it. Anyway, ladies, you enjoy your night. I've got to go. Okay? Bye. A Black Beauty is out.